Hello YouTube, Bookface, and everybody else. It's me, Houston again, with the project Drumming Evolution. And tonight we have a very awesome guest, my own personal drum teacher. He's amazing. And we're here actually at his home studio in Tucson, Arizona. Let's go say hello to Jim Howell. After you, sir.
Gotta go.
I guess I'll go first.
Hey, what's up?
This is Jim.
Come on in. This is our waiting area. Welcome to my studio. This is the Jim Howell studio for percussion, drums, percussion, and music. So it's a little waiting area here. And behind you is the drum closet. That's the secret closet of fun in there.
And Wi-Fi.
We have Wi-Fi, yes.
That is cool.
Yes.
That is cool. Let's go in here.
Yeah. This is the studio. 2 drum sets, some guitars, amps, bass, keyboards, and I teach all of the above.
Something.
That's the thought of the day board. Today's thought of the day is Soul Train. Soul Train.
Anyways, so we're gonna have a quick interview here. And he's been nice enough to let us sit down. So Jim,
Yes.
you've been teaching me for
A long time.
God, I was a long time, yeah, on and off for a while, solidly there,
Yeah.
and then start working and. So just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a native Tucsonan. I have hit my late 30s at this point in my life. I've been playing music since I was a wee one. Probably about age 2.5 or so. My mom used to think it was really funny to set me up on the piano at my aunt's restaurant and bar, where she had a lounge where a piano player would play professionally on weekend nights, and they would have me sing all kinds of really complicated songs because apparently I could remember lyrics and melodies at that age. So around probably 4 or 5, I got a drum set and had a piano in the house. So that was kind of my beginning of my obsession with percussion. Been playing ever since, but I kind of stalked along cello and piano and guitar mostly until I got to my teen years, and then it became the obsession with drums.
The obsession, that is
Yeah.
awesome. So tell me about your influences.
Well, I think like any drum set player, you should kind of be influenced by New Orleans since it's kind of the birthplace of the drum set. So like any drum set player, I'm kind of obsessed with jazz-based things from New Orleans, as well as funk and soul music from New Orleans, and some of the birth of rock and roll. I mean, I really trace that back to a lot of New Orleans influences. For example, the drummer Earl Palmer, who not only played with Fats Domino in his early recordings, but played with Little Richard, both of which are kind of influential in the beginnings of rock music. So that's a big influence on my playing. But of course, the Beatles, the Stones, Zeppelin, all the cool British stuff. Yes, Zeppelin. All the cool British stuff that came across, as well as a lot of cool American bands in that time period. I really like the Box Tops and Big Star, both of which feature Alex Chilton. That's kind of some faves of mine. I don't know, Tom Petty. Eventually, as I got older, the Chili Peppers. I really think Chad Smith's a great player. Kind of went through a Pink Floyd obsession for a while. So in these days it's just anything I can get my hands on. Sometimes world music. So whatever sounds cool. It has a groove to it.
I understand that. So tell us a bit about your technique, like where you got it from, and kind of what you use personally, and
Sure.
and why.
I use what is called the German style match grip mostly, which is where the wrists are up, and you kind of have about a 90 to 100 degree kind of angle of the sticks. I mostly play match grip. If I'm playing kind of louder rock, I'll probably play with my left stick backwards to get a little bit more crack on the snare. Occasionally I play with the traditional grip, but very rarely. And I use a lot of finger technique and really loose grip, as well as what's called the Moeller method, which is the whipping method, where you kind of really try to hear that whip in the stick and really be able to use a whip and a tap and a whip tap and such to get more efficiency out of playing.
Yeah, which actually really helps because when I learned that, whoa.
Yeah, I kind of learned it by accident just because I thought it looked cool when I watched older drummers that were blues drummers and country drummers playing. I thought it looked cool the way they would play on the hi-hat like this, and I was like, oh man, their shuffles sound so great. My shuffle sounds so terrible. It's got to be that the cool way that they play that looks cool. And so I would go and practice this thing and discovered, wow, it's much easier to play. It sounds cool. My shuffle sounds better when I play like this.
Yeah.
So and then I discovered, oh, it's this thing that's been around since the 1930s called Muller method. Blah blah blah. So yeah. So that's the gist of it.
That was cool. That's great. So tell us a bit about what gear you play on.
These days, mostly Ludwig drums. I picked up a Gretsch Catalina Club, one of those jazz kits recently. So I kind of play that for the lighter gigs, the small room gigs, the restaurant gigs, things like that. If it's a bigger stage gig, I play a 2006 Ludwig reissue series. It's a green sparkle, it has a 13 rack, 16 floor, 22 by 18 bass drum. It comes with a 6.5 matching snare, but I kind of trade that out for a Black Beauty or other various drums at times. In the studio I have Goldie here. She's a 1968 gold sparkle with a 1961 gold sparkle snare. And also one of my favorite snares that I play probably the most and with my Catalina Club especially is a 1950 WFL, which is a Ludwig. It's a kind of a concert drum which is like a student model. It has 6 lugs and it's mahogany.
That's awesome.
It's nice.
That is great.
Old drums sound good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do. So with all this said, what currently are you doing teaching wise and also gigging wise? Tell us a little bit about your your bands and what your main goal is with what you're doing.
Sure. Well, a main goal is to be able to play and teach and be involved in music as much as possible and survive and make a living doing it, pay my bills, feed my kids.
Yeah.
But fortunately, I teach from my home studio 6 days a week. I have currently probably about 55, 56 students. I do have about 80% of them are probably drummers, but I do have a few guitar students, a bass student or two, a piano student or two. The summer I'm probably going to do some group session classes for like kind of a rock band kind of class where you put together a whole group.
That'd be kind of cool.
So I'll probably be doing some of those over the summer when kids might be out of school, especially teenagers will be out of school and looking forward to doing that. Gigging wise, I do everything from, I have my own trio, which is called the Jim Howell Band, and we do, kind of working gigs. We play some private parties, things like that. Occasionally we add in a player or two, like this month we've got a pedal steel player sitting in with us because we've got a gig that's more focused towards country western kind of playing. I also am starting an instrumental surf, spy music, and kind of jump Texas blues kind of band. That's we're trying to figure out the name. It's either going to be the Atomic Gadgets or the Atomics. I'm not sure yet.
The Atomic.
But we play kind of once a month at the Mint on Grant on the first Friday of every month. As our kind of testing grounds, and then we go out and play some other gigs. We've got some private parties and some other gigs, maybe at the Hut, things like that coming up. And then I'll fill in for people as well as go out and play as a duo with the guitar player in my band as well as the Atomics, Michael P. Nordberg. He and I'll go out and play just 2 guitars, so I'll go out and play guitar. We have probably 3 hours or so of music together, just 2 guitars and voices. And I do sing in all the groups I play in, with the exception of the instrumental band. I try to sing as much as I can. So.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, for final words, to all those Facebookers and YouTubers and I don't know, maybe Twitter. I hate Twitter, but I might do that.
I have them all at some point.
It's just crazy. You need it, What would you just tell them? Is the closing words just, what would you say? Words of wisdom.
Practice.
Practice.
Practice and listen. Listen to the other members of the band. Get to know something about other instruments. I think the best thing I ever did was play a lot of instruments before I really got into drums fully, because I feel like I understand the whole song and am able to listen to the guitar player and the bass player and the keyboard player and the saxophone player, whatever configuration it might be. Really listen to the other parts and try and play, from my opinion, playing for the song rather than like, hey, look at what cool drum thing I can put in here. Whereas what drum thing is needed here. Sometimes it's the simplest thing and it's just about laying it down and holding it together. Sometimes you get to do fun things. So. You know.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Jim Howell, everybody. And now, the next video, we're going to be able to see a small little solo from him. Thank you very much, guys.